All right, welcome back, everybody, to Newport Harbor Lawn Bowling Club in Newport Harbor, California, for the 2026 Southwest Open Women's Pairs Finals Day. And this is the main event. We're going to be showing you the championship flight match between Julia Gallo and Rachel Marcuson versus Susie Houston and Joan Robbins. Julia and Rachel are undefeated. They were the only undefeated team, an untied team, the only team to go 4-0 yesterday. Well, Susie and Joan had, I believe, one loss. I'll double check that. But they've managed to make it to the final. So the ladies are finishing up their second trial in. The skip's going right now. And we'll be ready to get this underway. So it's three bowl pairs, as everything we've tried to move to in the Southwest with regards to Southwest sponsored events. We've tried to go to three bowls for pairs and two bowls for triples, as is the international standard. And this being, we had been playing 16 ends today, but this being the final championship match, we're going to 18 ends. So for those of us here in the booth, we have the director and producer, Gary Barnes, puts in a hell of a lot of work, along with Steve Darmontes on the cameras, also putting in a hell of a lot of work. There are technical guys doing everything. I'm Scott Roberts, your announcer, and we have Kelly Warren, who's been wandering around all day getting his steps in as he's with his tablet to give you the scores for all the other games that are going on. He's going to continue to do that because we have the finals of the second, third, and fourth flights going on, as well as the third place match. We also, at some point, will be joined by our Bulls USA National Umpire in Chief, Melanie Visitor. I think she's waiting for the match to actually get started before she heads over. But we'll be ready to go in just a short while. This should be a heck of a game here. Be curious to see if Julie and Rachel can make the sweep. We had a similar situation for the fours with Ann Nunes' team. Was undefeated, but they managed to, they just had it taken away and wasn't able to complete the sweep and go undefeated. And they got second to Mary Speace's team. Also, these, we know that Rachel and Julia play pretty fast. Joe and Susie, a little more deliberate. We'll see how this game goes and how the flow ends up working for this game. All right, we're off. We'll have the first bull and jack right now. We'll be getting underway. It looks like pretty long to start with. I think Jones up just a hair, and you can see the 2 meter mark just at the bottom of the screen is probably maybe 4 or 5 feet up. So Jones first. Pretty good opener. Susie and Joan had a pretty good comeback. They were down, I think, 6 or 7 to Dee McSparron and Linda Roberts, then came all the way back to win it. Not bad there by Rachel, just a little short, maybe a yard or so. Both ladies looking to make their adjustments. Again, a similar adjustment there. And Joan and Susie were the third seed and were in fact 3-1 yesterday. Rachel looking to add a yard. And maybe added a foot there. Right. Jones third, trying to shoot this gap here. Yeah, got a nice little rub. Might be in for shot. Julia says measure. So Rachel really just waits not too bad. Just a little bit more and definitely some more grass here. And just add a little too much pace there, but I think they'll mind having one in the back. Wind is picking up a little bit. All right, Susie's first. It's kind of what we've been seeing. People have been taking this hand and just not quite taking enough grass. Been a pretty consistent theme here. Yeah, so Julia kind of probably play this with the see if she could just on the draw get the inside of that white bowl or push up her partner's bowl with that weight. Just a nice little touch on it. Yep, she got the promotion. Should be in for two now. Just need to see if Susie's thinking about maybe going to the forehand through and play a jack or bull shot. Yeah, I think she's trying to get under. She's even got this as a wing that she could come off of this. Or trying to get my alignment right. That bull or jack or bull here. Yep, pretty good shot there. Dragging it back to where they all are. Rachel does have one back in here. There you go. Thanks, Steve. But probably so Julie's could play this way to get the draw, but she's going to opt for here. Rachel said that they're just one down, so she's looking to. She is coming this way on the forehand. Just a little heavy there. Really traveling all the way in the ditch. Wow. Whoa. Our tent just tried to fly away again, even though we got multiple bowls on it. That was exciting. So we during lunch the tent that we have, sponsored by Air Bowls, just started flying away. And just now, even though we've got a bunch of bowls trying to hold it down, it picked it right up and tried to carry it away. So we're resetting the bowls and seeing if we can get it to hold down here. Yep, here we go again. Susie, I think, came up to take a look and then tried to do a draw and then put her about 3 yards. All right, we're trying to make adjustments to the. I'm going to let everybody else do that while I focus on this. And Julia's just looking for a draw here, taking a little bit off. And a pretty healthy pace on this. I don't think this is going to stop next to the jack. And she didn't hit her own, so now it's a. So the first points will be by Susie, who got a nice little redirect. So they'll score first. Just a question of how many they're going to get. Looking like 2 right now. Let's see if it's 2 it is. So 2 for Houston and Robbins. They'll get the first points in this match. We're trying to do some tweaks to the tent so that this wind doesn't just lift it up. Instead, it just kind of passes on through, but we'll see. Pretty nice conversion there by Susie to turn that over, and Julie just couldn't match her. All right. All right, Jones first now. Going pretty long again. Very similar to what they did in the last one. It's a pretty good opener here by Joan. If memory serves, Joan played with Mary Speece and won this exact tournament, I think 2 years ago. She was leading for Mary Speece, and they won the pairs in another close game. Good, not a bad bowl by Rachel. I mean, she's a couple yards through, but and a little narrow. Not bad for an opener, but fortunate she got a little piece of the jack as she was going through. See if both these ladies can make their adjustments. Don't even switched hands there. Let's see if Rachel's gonna stick with it, I think, and just take a little more grass. Maybe drop a little pace. This looks pretty good here. Looks pretty good here. Is it gonna finish? Pretty close. I don't know if she made it. She's still. Jones gonna play the same hand here. Just wants to slide by. Yeah, that's a nice bull here. Beautiful shot there by Joan. It's well done. Drawn in a good shot. Melanie, I don't think will be joining us. She seemed pretty comfortable where she's at. So you're stuck with just me. All right, she'll looking forward to be nice and positive here. Just kind of come on through, play through that bowl would be good. Needs that a couple yards. Yeah, decent way. Just kind of missed the line. And she didn't miss that line by much. Another crossover with Houston holding one. Well, if the breeze has slowed a little bit or if we've done enough to keep our tent from going airborne. Well, it's a good test here as the wind's picked up, but a nice little breeze there, a gust. It didn't seem to blow us out of the picture. Susie's a little short there. Probably still a couple yards. See, Julia be nice and positive here, probably playing around the black bowl, which I think was what Rachel was trying to do. Rachel just happened to be a little narrow, and I think you see Julia play that same thing. Yep, she's on her backhand, trying to see if she can play through that white bowl or get to the jack. And I think she just need a little more pace. She added a little to it. Need a little more. Julia definitely needs a couple yards here. I think her line was pretty good. I think with that same line with a couple yards, she should be right there. Really, I think really wants to just kind of push that through or get to that jack. Yeah, this is definitely a little more forceful here. Yeah, just a little too forceful, so it didn't make the turn. Is the more force you put on it, then the less it'll bend because it just hasn't gotten to it. And so I think something in between, I think would have been good. I mean, if you're going, you just have to make sure if you're gonna go with weight, you've got to be right on the target. So it's a nice combination. You got to have both right. And if it was easy, everybody would do it. All right, Susie needs at least a yard here. Just slipping these would be good. Just kind of sailed all the way through, just a little too much. See if Julia's. I think they're revisiting. Just kind of try and switch over to the forehand and try and see if she can shoot that gap there instead, and see if she can get to the jack or the bull on that hand. Again, we've seen it be kind of a hook hang on this on the other side that she just played, but this has been a little bit better for ladies. Just whether she can manage to get through this gap here. Trying hard. Yeah, just right between the two. Pretty good effort. But it's one more for Houston and Robbins. They'll go up 3-0 after two. It just happens sometimes where you just have a little bit of a gap between the bull and the jack, and your bull just happens to find it. See if they stick with this where they keeping the mat pretty close to the tee here, and Susie's set up just a couple yards in front of the 2-meter mark on the other side. A little shorter of that this time, so more of a medium length jack this time. Let's see, Steve with the professional camera work here. And with the jack away from the 2 meters gives a good chance to be able to see the path as his bull's coming in. Good opener by Joan. Yeah, good opener. I'd like to see that. Just about short yard through. All right, here's Rachel. Yeah, good ball by Rachel. Just well, about a foot through. Just a little off on the line. Small adjustment needed by here, Dre Jones. Pretty good weight adjustment here. Yep. That's shot now. All right, Rachel, I would just keep the weight and just take a little more grass. Pretty good ball. And I think she got a little touch of the jack there. Yep. All right, Jones still holding one though. And this was not her best effort here. Yeah, just kind of got off her line a little bit there. All right, Richard's going to give it a go again. Still needs a little more grass here. I think she found what too much was. I can say I don't think she made that much of a difference. And, you know, sometimes you get that, especially on the end where it's like it's either it goes straight or it kind of hooks a lot, as opposed to maybe, you know, here you're kind of more consistent. So that's what we've been seeing. We've been watching this rink all day, and I've seen them pretty consistent with the lines on this side. And over here it's been kind of a little bit, you know, I can get a straightener as opposed to the hook. So see how that holds for the game. Oh, here's Susie. It's like a pretty good effort here. It's really good here. Yeah, another one in. Good ball. Probably two now. Let's see if Julia can get one in here. I'm going to come across and either hit that bull or the jack. Jack would be really good. Yeah, there's a great shot there by Julia. Might have made it two. Jones having a look-see. It's definitely one. Just not sure between those two bulls. Great shot by Julia. Turning that head over. Let's see Susie play this hand and see if she can come through. Jack or bull shot. She looks a little narrow. We're going to have to get a little lucky here. Yeah, and I think she did. Might have even pushed it in for shot. Not quite sure who's holding. At the very least, a measure. Don't have a great angle. If I had to guess, I'd say that Susie got shot now. Julia love a drag here with all three of her bulls right there. Yeah, that's a good try. Maybe a touch heavy for the line that you picked. But you could see the pocket there, so that's what they're having the discussion about. Susie's thinking it just, yeah. So here's the danger for that. Oh, where's my thing? All right, here's the danger for them is this little pocket of four here. If he can get that bull, you know, so this is the opportunity for Julia's, and it's the danger for Susie. So that's what they're saying. How can we get to this little pocket and break this up? Probably safer to come on this direction, but less likely to achieve because you're probably going to get running into one of these bulls in front and won't get to the exact center of it. The danger, though, of going the other direction is if you try and do this to get into here, then you run the risk of being too narrow and flicking the outside of this jack and then sending it over to them and making the shot for them. So let's see what happens. Yeah, it looks like Susie's going to try that forehand. Again, it's easier to get to the spot, but a little riskier because you don't want to be, and especially on that hand, which has been a little squirrely. All right, see what happens. All right, well, she played it safe. You can see how it didn't really turn that much. And now it's set up for Julia. If she can get the bull, that'll be good. She'll probably sit for 1 or 2, but ideally, if she flicks that jack, then she's looking at a 5. Just a question of whether it'll turn here. Nope. Good weight for it, though. Good control on the weight, but it didn't quite turn over. So it's going to be 1 for Houston to make it 4-0 after 3. Okay, I think they've Houston Robbins have stuck with the same distance that had the mat from the beginning, and we've just been kind of pulling the mat up just a little bit, and then trying to keep the jack just a little shy of the tee. And I think that's what they've done again here. Okay, we're playing 18 ends. Thanks for joining us here at Newport Harbor in the 2026 Southwest Open Women's Pairs Championship match. Julia Gallo and Rachel Marcuson and Susie Houston and Joan Robbins. Susie and Joan are up 4-0 after the first 3 ends. Joan with a good opener there. Maybe a bull short. Both these leads have been playing pretty well. Joan just a hair better than Rachel to start. And Rachel puts her first one into the ditch. Joni's going to try and just make a small correction here. And that's kind of corrected the wrong way there. You'll see Rachel keep this one in play. All 4 of these ladies Team USA. Rachel again. Heavy and narrow. Wow. Personally, I think Rachel would be well served if she switched hands. I think that wider hand has been a little more consistent, and you get a better chance of it kind of staying in bounds for these long ones because it's turning more, so it's got a chance to come in sideways. And like that one, just kind of stayed up for Joan. I thought it was unlikely that Rachel was going to put 2 in the ditch. And just the thought of her putting a 3rd in there just seems ludicrous to me. Just needs the inside half of this will help. Oh, just kind of slid by. All right, second shot there. All right, here's crossed over now. Here's Susie holding one and with the back ball having the position. Yeah, not bad there. Probably about 4 feet short. Julia looking to get one in here. They want to try and get on the board. Not the easiest setup here. I think she's going to try and play this narrower hand. And it's really turned on her. She came up a little short too. Just been a little difficult. And a little bit on the struggle. They've seemed to be either playing that hand the majority of the time, and it just hasn't worked out for them so far. A small adjustment needed by Susie, but she even switched hands, I think, to try and come through and then hooked all the way over. That's what Julie's going to try. I think she's a little more positive here. I wonder if she's just trying to go jack or bull or just kind of run into it. Oh, she just touched the jack, so it'll be a toucher in the ditch. She might have just been saying, I'll just take the jack in the ditch. And she just didn't miss it by much. Susie trying again. Switched hands. Nope, stuck with the same hand. Got a nice little result there. Nice little push. See, it could just kind of hung there. Wonder if Julia's down 2 now. Wonder if she's going to just try again and just go jack in the ditch and see if she can ditch it for 2. Well, she hit it. Just a little overdraw. Is it going to stay or is it trickling too far? Well, it's no worse than 2. That's the good thing. It just didn't stay with it enough, so it's going to cause this measure. But they keep 1. So it'll make it 5-0. After 4, playing 18 ends. You can see our little bug in the upper left-hand corner showing all the games that are going on the rink that they are. So we have the this championship match. It's on 6. I think the 3rd and 4th place game is on 1. I mean, Sylvie Benson, McSparran Roberts, so they're playing for 3rd in their championship flight. I believe Spangler Moore Lee and Moffat Schulte is for the 4th flight final. Belsum Santos Kuti is the 2nd flight final. And I think the Bill and Minahan Hedgesmith Thompson, I think that's the 3rd flight final. So, anyways, those are the 5 games that we have going on. So the championship for the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th flight and the 3rd place game on rink 1. Right. Similar kind of story. Joan kind of playing it a little long, keeping the mat right around the tee and the jack right around the tee, just a yard short. And hard to get away from it. They've been playing it much better than their opponents. And got a little porch down on one end with a nice little redirect on the 3rd end there to hold the shot. And they've just been kind of hanging on here. And Rachel, a little A little short there, about 5 feet short. Here's Joan again. Looks like a really good correction here. This looks really good. Beautiful shot there. Just the bull short. All right. Rachel needs to add a little bit of weight here. Needs to run into that one. Is it going to stay up? Just stayed right on the plinth. Barely in. I think Joan will be well served to just do the same thing. She can even afford to add a yard. Wouldn't be terrible to get a little position here. You know, she's added some weight. It's just a question whether she's going to stay up. Yep, kind of matches Rachel's in the back. I think Rachel's going to switch and go over to the to her backhand and play this little wider hand, which I think has been a little bit truer. It bends a lot though, so you got to really make sure that you give it the grasp. We've seen people play this for the first time and just under commit, and that's what she's done. But good weight there. So it should be Susie will take the mat holding 2 here with a 5-point lead. Well, Bill and Son with a 11-0 lead over Nancy and Lisa, who we saw in the last game win. At Janice and Veronica 11-0 after 4. Wow, heck of a start there. Let's see, Susie should be. I think I would like to see her on her backhand coming around and just kind of play into her own bull and not mess around with those black balls there. Yep, that's what she's doing. Just wants to float it on past. Yeah, it's well done here by Susie. Very good bull there. It's in for 3 now. I think Julia's asking to try and come underneath. I think she's going to play on the forehand and she's going to come in with probably some weight to make sure that she gets underneath that black. Get under the black bull, get to the jack or the bull. It just didn't turn for her. Let's see what happens in the back. Just went through clean. Well, Susie, I wouldn't change anything. I'd just do the same thing. I was in for the count. It was in a good position. And she's kind of overthrown this one. Let's see if it stays up. Yep, got all the way to the back there. I think we'll see Julia probably do it again. It wouldn't shock me. I mean, she could try and draw and just cut it down, but I'm thinking she's just kind of going to go again on the forehand here. All right, just giving it a go here. But again, now she's on the turning a lot. It took a little pace off of it to keep it in play, and it turned a lot more. Well, there's not a whole lot of danger there. The only spot is where Jones kind of standing is in her feet. There's 2 down in that spot, but boy, if I would Susie, I'd be pressing your advantage to just try and draw another one in here. You just need to get one within a yard, and you'll be holding 4 here. And yeah, didn't really put a block in there. Didn't really affect anything. I think Rachel's wanting Julia to try and cut it down on the draw here. Julia's thinking about coming the other way and see if she can cut it down. I mean, they could just hang around and just, it hasn't been too terrible. I mean, Joan's been really outplaying Rachel, but they've been keeping it to twos and ones. And when you got an 18 in game, if you could just keep it down to one, and hopefully your lead comes around and starts outplaying your opponent, which is you got to believe is going to happen. Then you just want to try and see if you can just slow the bleeding and just make it a 1 point game. And I think Julia's done that. That looks pretty close. I think she's done it and cut it to one. That's a pretty good shot there by Julia. Yep, it's just one. Well done there. And just, got to believe that eventually that worm's going to turn and you just kind of stay within range. So it's a 6-0 after 5. Again, very close game. I mean, somebody's got to score. And so if you can keep cutting it down to one, just have it be 1-1-1. Then eventually you got to feel like, okay, I have faith in my lead. My lead eventually is going to be getting on top of my opponent. And then especially if they could score and then they could change the mat to do something, I guarantee you they will do something different than this. But for now, it's 6-0 after 5. A little shorter this time. Joan will be first, see if she can get it in there. See that thing take a big sweep. Good weight. See if Rachel's going to switch over. She's going to stick to this narrow hand, a ditch hand. Well, she's sticking with it. See if she can master it. There is a path there. We've seen people play it well, but it's been a little more inconsistent with regards to weight and line. You can see even that one, it hit that little brown patch and just kind of started backing up. Joan has been consistently playing this wider hand and has gotten the better of it. A little short there. See how much this hooks her. This is going to hang out. Trying to turn away. Yeah, there it goes at the end. See that big hook? See how that finished? How that finished, it was almost just past the center line and that really went as it compared to her first bowl that just like didn't turn at all at the end. And that's the difference, it's a couple yards there just in that last little bit. All right, here's Joan. And again, those short bowls are killer. That was looking pretty good. I think Rachel might be holding for the first time here. Just right between the two bowls would be great. Very close here. Great adjustment. Yeah, she's figured it out now. Hopefully that's the line and she'll ride that line. I just think there's a small window of error there, or some margin of error on that hand. It can be played. We've seen it all day, but it's a small window. All right, let's see what Susie does. And everything would say she should be playing on her backhand here to try and come underneath. Just as she's calling to just get shot or a close second. Trying hard here. She moved it. Good hit. Don't know if she moved it enough. Well, Julia will be on the draw here. See if she can find this narrow line. She does have two catchers there if she gets action on the jack. Look at this shot. Great bowl by Julia. Beautiful. And again, because Joan had the short bowls, they have like no position. So even if Susie wanted to attack, it's just not favoring her right now. Let's see what happens here. She's going to go all the way through here. See if it should stay up. Yeah, it's still going. Jeez. Okay, now it's stayed up. Like Julia's just do it again. Just put another one in. Don't overthink it. A little touch on the jack could be great. Oh, it's another great bowl by Julia Gallo. David G with his two stunners. So Susie was pretty heavy. She does have the best back if she wants to go heavy. It is an interesting target because there's not a lot of holes in that head between the two bulls, the jack, and even that third bull behind. If she wanted to play with a similar kind of weight, like a ditch weight, and try and play through the head, that is an option if she didn't want to try and dry and just want to try and attack. There's something to be said for it. It looks like that's what she's trying. Just needs to get underneath that front bull or get an edge of it. She ended up pushing it in. The problem with missing that line, boy, Julia probably should be on the draw, but she's got a drag for 6 right now. She could tie this up with one bull. Again, you see the value of the position. Because of Rachel's position, she's got that option there. And just really wants to do the same thing. Got 3 excellent bulls by Julia. Really good. So they'll take 3 out for sure. See, again, it's just hanging around and just waiting for her partner to come alive and to give her a chance for Julia to just be able to draw as opposed to kind of like drive or cut down. Just, it's not a 4-in game. It's 18. And I think they've had a couple comebacks already in this tournament. So I think Joan's just trying to figure out which is the closest of her own bulls first. And then going to measure around for those bulls behind with 3 already out. That's 4. Again, big end here by the ladies in green. Five it is. Wow, great end by them. And just like that, the 6-point lead is now 6-5 with one end. And you'll probably see Rachel do something different with the mat. She'll probably put the mat right where it was. Again, and you could even make an argument that part of that became they got a chance to draw because Joan threw the jack a little shorter. She wasn't all the way to the tee. She was about 3 yards short of it. Because of that, it wasn't getting into the last section, and it made it a totally different thing of what they were trying to play to. And now that advantage they have is nearly gone. Now they just have a 1-point lead just like that. And now because they've scored, usually like to just run away and hide. Just run away and hide. Just keep playing your length. Do it again and again and again. Force them to stab, and then hopefully by then it's a boat race and it's too late. But with them not being able to cut it down, now it's a huge margin that they got on that end. Now they got a chance with their length, and now Rachel's brimming with confidence, where she was just very much struggling the first few ends, or at the very least getting outplayed by Joan. And now Rachel's the one that's drawing him in within a foot or two. And it's a whole new game. Joan with a good opener herself. Two good bowls by the ladies. I think Rachel's just now sticking with her, playing with this other hand, not messing around with that narrow hand. She played that so good the first one, so she's going to try again and just try and work on her own here. Yeah, good bowl there. Definitely shot with that last one. Might be two. I think she wants her to. The trick is, do you want to try and play through those bowls, which I think is the call? Just try and do a yard on, chop lie, meaning you chop the bowl out and then you come in and you lie for shot. I think that's what she's trying. Hit one of these bowls, boom, boom, and then grab the jack. Very well done by Joan. Great shot there. Put it right next to her other one. And then holding two. Well, Rachel's going to try the forehand here, see if she can figure it out. The jack being off center might actually help her. Just trying to, you want to be nice and positive here because now you're short with two bowls. You really want to make sure you play this up through. Even if you promote your own is fine. And that's pretty good. Got it in for, I think that might be second. They're probably going to send Joni to the other side. Yeah, she cut it to one. Good shot there by Rachel. And it was one of the options. She could play with weight and either hit that ball in front, which came right in, or she could have hit either one of those balls with the jack. All of those were options. All right, Jones. This time Jones got the position. Trying to slide underneath these balls. See a little action on the block, push it out. Yeah, that works. So the good news is they definitely made it two. The bad news is they sprung the jack a little further away. So now anything within 2 feet will get you shot. So they'll cross it over. You see our little bug that we have in the upper left-hand corner, so you can see the other games that are going on. You have the third place game in the championship flight on one, and then the fourth, second, and third flight finals. All right, Julia trying to, she played this hand pretty well on that last end, and with it being a little off center, probably will help her. Just a little heavy, maybe. Yeah, it fell the wrong way. I think that took it out from being shot. Falls in, and it would have been shot, I think. I think Susie definitely playing this open hand on the forehand here. And she's come up 5 feet short, I think. Julie's going to stick with the forehand. Just waiting to see what they were discussing. She should be under the blue, I think. Just come right under the blue should be good. It's also a case to be made for going all the way around it, but I just don't know if it's going to turn enough after it gets past there. Main thing is if she's got good weight. When she does, and it fell in the correct way, so that probably gets shot. That was great. It was really well done. She just navigated that blue bull in front with no problems. With pretty much perfect weight there. Now Susie's going to try and match her. See if she can get underneath that one. I don't think she made it. Yeah, so Julie's holding one now. Now she's got an interesting puzzle here. Yeah, I think that's a right call by Rachel. I think it's trying to keep to the same weight, but now fit in the gap between the blue and the white bulls. So same weight, just a little tighter. And she does have that back pull there. This looks really good again. Beautiful bull. Oh, and it just deployed to shoot and just kind of really stopped right there. Backed up a bit. So probably two. There's some great bowling by Julia there. I mean, Rachel had some good bowls and then forced them to move the jack, which they did. But then Julia's up for the task. And now because Susie was behind, so short, it's all five short bowls by their team now. Ultimately, they didn't start off short, but after the jack movement, and then Susie's just coming up short. Needs to probably add a couple feet at least to her last would be good. And it's starting to turn. Needs to get an edge here. Didn't quite do it. Comes all the way through. So it's going to be at least one, maybe two here. Look like one. Kelly's two it is. If Kelly's to be believed, it's two. Everything says two. Well, I'll go off the board, which says two. So just like that, after dropping, being down 6-0 after 5, now all of a sudden they're up 7-6 after 7. Again, there was no panic. They just kept playing their game and just waiting. There's something to be said for that. Just cut down, cut down, cut down. We don't have, I mean, it's early and there's a lot of ends to go. Very much like the patience that they showed there. It's very different when you're in the 5th end as opposed to being in the 14th end. And good. And then Rachel is stuck with that hand and now playing in this set of grass. She's got a much better results than she has as opposed to going tee to tee like they were. All right, here's Joni. And a little short there, a couple feet. Oh, Rachel's going to switch over. Yep, she is. See if she takes enough grass here. Well, she took enough grass, just didn't have the weight. She was a couple of yards short there. And not in anybody's way. Looks like a great ball here by Joan. Great adjustment, beautiful shot. Maybe a foot at most away. All right, Rich is going to go back. Try and play it a little more positive here. Just try and slide under the front white ball and get to the back white ball or the jack. Yep, close. Yeah, good effort there. Just needed me to touch more grass there. Yeah, Susie wants one by those two bowls there. I think the main thing is just to try and keep it behind. Joan's gonna play the forehand here. Yep. Forehand again, the goal is to get those two balls. She probably won't take enough grass, so it's gonna come across. Yep. I did get another one in the count by hitting the inside half of that one. So looking like two now. Some good draw bowling by Joan. There's Julia. I think she's probably trying to play through these bowls. Try and add a yard and see if she can get the chop fly or hit the jack. That's just great controlled weight. Beautiful shot there. Again, she just wanted to try and play it with the yard. She could hit the inside of the outside bowl. She could hit the come through clean and hit the jack, or she could do what she did and hit the inside of that front bowl and then just have push that out and just sit in for shot. That was very well done. Any of those would have worked out great for her. Let's see what Susie's going to do here. Let's probably go over to the forehand, I think. See if she can pick up, play like a jack or bowl shot. Trying either to hit the bull or the jack here. Yeah, pretty good weight. Nothing wrong with that. Sets it up, just didn't fire at it. I think Rachel's looking for, now that you're holding, kind of switching over, because this is the zone where they have their bowls and they don't want it coming over here on this side. So rather than risking this happening, she wants to try and find this little gap in here. Anything between the white and the black there should be pretty good. Yeah, just happened to hit it a little strong there. I think the pace was good. If she just had it a little bit narrower, then she would have slipped right in that little trough. I think Susie would love to get rid of that bull. They have second, third, and fourth now. She's going to stick with the forehand, see if she can pick up the jack or either get the shot bull. We're a little unlucky here to find the gap. If she could hit either one of those, it'd be good. Yeah, Rachel having a think. On one hand, you could use another. Yeah, they're going to have a chat. So where's their danger that they have? The danger they're thinking about is they're two down back here. That's one danger. The other danger is that they only have one bull in the head here. If this bull goes, then they're down 3 or 4. If they mac the jack and knock it back, then they're down probably 3. So she wants to try and protect something. It's just, what are you going to protect? Do you put one back and protect against her hitting the jack back? Or do you put another one in? Well, if you want to know what I'm thinking, I would be playing this hand with weight, with a couple yards of weight, trying to get to like here. And why? Well, you could hit this one in and get that, and you get that result of getting a second one in. You could slip and hit one of these bowls, and likely hitting either one of these bowls, this will come over and you get a second, or you hit this one and then it rocks it out and you get your second. If you miss everything with 2 yards of weight, then you're probably back in here and you've covered that. So this gives you a lot of options if you're playing on this hand. I think right where Rachel's, just that's probably decent weight, maybe even here. But any of these are good. Even if she happens to come narrow and pick the jack and hit the outside of the jack, then it's going here, and that's a good spot too. So I think that's a proper hand. That's what I would be doing. And definitely don't be shy here. Yeah, I think a little higher than I would have liked, but I think they were just going for the back cover. So they get best back out of it. So they guard against that, say. But now again, the danger is that one bull that they have in the head. And they're having a healthy discussion. I mean, it's the same. Susie had that shot twice, and she wasn't able to do it. But she's essentially, oh, good. Thank you. Thank you, Gigi. So she can either, again, hit the jack, and if it comes here, that's pretty good for them. If she hits the outside of the bowl and gets it out, that's pretty good for them. It's 3 or 4 in either one of those situations. Or she can even hit hit the white into the red. Sorry, hit the white into the red, and then have it go all the way out, and that's good for them too. So I think she should be playing this. I mean, they're setting up like for a draw, but I think she'd be better off playing with a yard of weight. Let's see what happens. Trying pretty hard here. Yep, she got that little combo. White into the red. Should have knocked it in for shot, I think. I'll take a look, see. Wait for an official word from everybody, but should just be one. Yeah. Okay, so that ties it up. Makes it 7-7. After 8. 10 ends to go here. And again, we have Kelly walking up and down and giving us updates of the scores of the other games, which includes the second flight final, the third flight final, the fourth flight final, and the third place game on rink 1. And a lot of those seem to be pretty one-sided, considering we got a tie here in the championship match. The closest one there is we got a 4-point lead, 5 point, 17 and 11. All right. Again, kind of trying to go to a little longer distance, but not quite as far. Still a couple yards through, and Joan has left that well short. It's probably 3 yards short there, which leaves it open for Rachel, who's now gone over to this wider hand, a little more consistent hand. Pretty good opener there, maybe a foot and a half short. See, both ladies make good adjustments. Joan especially here needs an adjustment. So this 18 end game is now a 10 end game. Pretty good bowl there by Joan. Yep, just slid in front. See, this is going to come down for Rachel. Again, it's the pace. You got to be behind. Really need to make sure you're through. Should be drawing through, not two. Got 4 short bowls when the ladies here. Because the wind is kind of in their face. See, Joni's last. This looks pretty good here. Yep, good bowl there. Only 2 now, but everything below the jack. Yeah, I think Julie's right idea. I need to get something behind, so try and play that through. I think Rachel needs to add a yard to the jack at least. Probably add a 2 wouldn't be bad here. Just get under this bowl or hit it square. Yeah, got a little bit of the position there for it. We got 2 discussions going on. Well, the main thing is, I think, even though they're holding 2, they don't have a lot of position. Susie really needs to get something behind. She does have danger kind of on either way. She doesn't want to push either one of these bowls, that bowl or that bowl in. It'd be a little harder to push the one on this side in. But it looks like if it came with weight, I mean, it could go anything, but it's probably going to go back in here. So to me, I think this would be good. Yeah, I think this is a good call to try and just kind of targeting this bowl here. And just kind of playing to, not necessarily to that bowl, but through that bowl. Yeah, just or just a dead draw. I didn't think that's what you wanted, but you just dead drew another one. So again, just putting the pressure a little bit on Julia to make it 3, but you don't want to leave Julia too big of a target. All right, here's Julia playing on her backhand, trying to probably be nice and forceful and see if she can get a piece of this head here since it's a pretty big target. Yep, with no problem at all. It made it look easy. Made it look easy. And I think that was the proper shot was her to play into it and play with weight, which is, I mean, the upside is at least you got that back pull, but I mean, that was one of the problems with, sometimes you can get too close to it. By Susie putting it where she did, she kind of set it up really nicely for Julia to play that shot. Let's see what Susie does. She's going to try the clean draw. A little bit of a danger in promoting the black. I don't know if that's what I would have played if I were her. And she's got this. She could have played this and come through underneath this bowl into her own. Kind of just did what similar to what Julia did. She could play this bowl. All right, clear it out. Play white into red. Play into this white bowl and move it up, or come in clean. So I think that hand would have been better. Julia's going to try and come around. She's got her own bowl she could push up, which is kind of the danger that Joni was, or that Susie was fighting. Just a touch short. The interesting thing is it's probably going to force Susie into playing what I think is the correct hand. She's probably going to switch over now. She's got both of those in her way, and there's no way she's going that hand. Yeah, see her eyeball on the other side. It's kind of sometimes the downside of putting in something short or block is sometimes you can force your opponent into playing the quote unquote proper shot. So I think that's a lot easier to play with weight positive with a lot of different options than trying to do a clean draw. Especially if those options don't involve a lot of holes. I mean, there's just so many things. She could hit either one of those white balls helps her. She could come clean through between the white balls and it helps her. All right, let's see how this goes for her. Don't know if she's here. Let's see. Oh, just a clean draw. What a shot by Susie. Beautiful. Beautifully done. Just wasn't sure if that was going to get there again. I would have thought maybe adding a yard with that same pace. Even if she would have come through, she could have hit the jack or any of the actions, but she just did the clean draw, which is a lot easier to do on that hand, it seems. Now, Julia's to the test here, down one. I think she's probably eyeballing playing that same hand and playing a little positive and pushing those bulls up. The other alternative is not, it just doesn't look as good for her on her backhand to try and play the same thing that Susie just did because she doesn't have those bulls to push up. Only one down. You don't want to lose your own there. Again, that's the main danger here for Rachel to kind of move. Because if she plays on this hand, she gives the danger of hitting the white ball and hit her red ball out. So I think I think she's got this to work on and this to work, or sorry, forgetting my offset, this to work on or this to work on. She has these two bulls here that she could play through to be positive through the head and trying to get to it. There we go. Oh, it reaches all the way. Let's see if I can get my alignment right. Even if, I mean, it's even hitting this white ball, I don't think it's going to push it in. This white ball. She'd rather hit that black ball or the red ball and push those in, or even she could shoot the gap and get to the jack. Might happen as well. I think she's going to play that hand and try and add. She's got that one of the. Yeah, she's thinking of just going. Rachel's talking her out of it, or trying to, anyways. I think she's better off just kind of playing similar, and just add a couple yards. I think that's it. Because it could go horribly wrong if she drives and misses. They're only one down, and tie game. So I think it's just playing the forehand, couple yards through. Looks like what she's trying. Let's see how it goes. It's going to be on to black. In for shot. Perfect. Perfect. Yep. Well done, Julia. Great shot there. And a good call by Rachel talking her out of the weighted shot. All right, so Gallo and Marcuson take an 8-7 lead at the halfway point. They've scored all 8 of their points in the last 4 ends after being down 6-0. You can see some of the other scores that we've got. Looks like Selby Benson have been making a run on McFerrin and Roberts, making that a 1-point game. And we still have a couple blowouts there. Let's see if Rachel's. Yeah, now with the different length, they pull the mat up a little bit. Been a little more playable this way, staying away from like the last 4 meters on either side. Been able to get a nice little turn on this hand, but I'm wondering if this is too far. Let's see how it finishes. Yeah, she got a little finish there. Yeah, not too bad. Joan's just been sticking with this, playing the clubhouse hand here. And Definitely favoring that side and then playing it pretty well. Not too bad. Good line. Just maybe 4 feet through. Rachel looks like she's maybe 2 feet. See if this one does the big hook at the end like it's been doing when you get past the center line. Zoop. Yep. Again, probably not that much different, but that's been the challenge of playing that hand is it just you get across the center line and it just goes. The other hand's been a little more consistent as far as the line goes. And Joni has been messing around. She's been rarely, I mean, it's just been her weight. You can see she's really finding that center line. And even that's not too bad being behind, giving her team a chance. Rachel's just sticking with it though. Let's see if this is going to make the turn and finish. If it's going to come in. And again, just you can see, just look at the center line and just look at how much Rachel is, kind of off here and off here. And yet you see this trough that Joan's been able to stick in. Joan switches, and I don't know why. See if she manages to get the jack or finishes it. And see, now watch the finish. Zoop. See how it kind of right when it got past the center line, it took an extra foot. Okay. Ladies have crossed over. Julia's up. She, I think, will be playing the forehand here. I think she's holding a couple. Interesting, they've got the points, but not the position. She's a little short. Probably, she's been really on fire in this game. That's about as bad as she's rolled one. But again, that'll happen when you don't have the position. Sometimes it just creeps into the back of your head that you did 180 jack movement and you end up doing something like that where it just kind of that last thought is not a good one. You see Sylvie and Benson have come all the way back to take the lead now. All right, down a couple. Down one on the board, down two in the head. There's Susie. She's going to try this ditch hand. I don't think it's going to turn from there. We'll see. Yeah, not with that weight. But they get another one in the back now. I think Rachel's trying to tell her, to get one back here. So I think Julia will respond. They are pretty vulnerable back there. I think she didn't make it to those back bowls, but did draw another. I mean, that's the beauty of playing to a back bowl is if you're, a lot of times your consolation prize is another shot. But if Susie can pick up the jack and take it back, it's 5. I think she's just trying to get one in and cut it down from the 3 it is now. And this is probably going to have a big finish. It goes across the center line and whoop. All right, now a similar situation here. I think Rachel said, please, please, we need one back here. Even if you play into those bowls, but I think the better target is to play to the one on the center line, the shorter one. Pushed that one a little closer and managed to get a promotion to put one in the general area. So it should definitely be 3 now. Right. Looks like they're going to stick with it. So he's just been a little heavy with the last two. But, down 3 in the head. She could stick the same weight and try and see if she goes jack or bull and try and get the home run. Well, she's past the front bull. Needs to hit this one. Yep, she did. Is it going to sit in for shot? It might. Kind of almost put it a little too close when she tapped it in there. But they'll look and see if they get shot or not. Looks like they did get it. Yep. Good shot there by Susie. Ties it up at 8. 8-8 after 10. And this 18 in game is now an 8 in game. This 2026 Southwest Open Women's Pairs Championship. So, those of you who are watching, if you're enjoying it, we'd love to have a like or subscribe. That would be great. We're really trying to boost our subscribers. And the upside is if you subscribe, it doesn't cost you anything. And if you turn on the notifications, and you can find out when we're broadcasting, exactly when we broadcast, so you know when the matches are coming through. And we really appreciate it. It makes us more desirable for sponsors. You can help us get equipment and keep us in business to keep bringing you Bulls coverage. Joan with a decent start, just a couple feet short. And Rachel's going to probably stick with this forehand, the ditch hand. Kind of gone back to this distance, Joan, back to that distance, putting the mat up, basically right on the tee and then rolling the jack maybe a yard short of the tee here. Just kind of put it into that hang hook zone on the other side. It's Rachel just has, I don't know if she's seen what I've seen at least. It seems like she's much, much more consistent when they're able to play their distance or a little shorter when it gets down to the last 3 or 4 meters. She just hasn't been playing it anywhere near as well. And Joan played that hand for I don't know what reason. She should have just stuck with that good hand and just played through on bowl. Instead, she switched and just threw a blank. Yeah, no business switching. She should have just played into her own or through her own. All right, just going to try it again. And this time she gets the hook. Both bowls short. Now Joan has to play that hand, I think. Stick with the narrow. See if somebody can get one past the jack here. Don't think it's going to be this one. But it is a second shot. All right, Rich is going to stick with it, see if she can split the difference between the two bowls that she had, and definitely needs to add big yard, maybe 5 feet here. This one's cooking here. Got a little fortunate there, hitting her own. Might have pushed it all the way up for shot here. I think she would be the first to, I don't know if she planned that. That's a hell of a plan if that's what she was trying to do. I mean, to get it when you're a lead, you want to stick on the same hand as much as you can. But that's also assuming that you're either figuring it out or you figured it out. But the difference is the length really dictates it, especially on these kind of edge rinks like a 6 when you're kind of close to the ditch. It really travels off in 3 yards. I mean, part of it is what what I'm doing and encourage my students to do is when you're doing that, just look and see how you're getting close to the center line. Are you finding it? Because occasionally you have to switch over. How's that going when you switch over? I mean, I've been told by skips, I've been lead and locked in. My skip will tell me, why don't you try the other hand? And the next thing I know, it's just like I can't miss. And Susie had just an absolute stunner, just a dart that she just dropped in there. That's definitely a shot. And force Julia probably to play up and through that bowl. I mean, there is a path. It's either here or nowhere, it seems. Pretty good effort there by Julia. That should be second. Susie could probably use another one. I'd love to see her put another one in there and just prove me wrong and make it look like, oh yeah, this is easy, Scott. And I just think it's more, I don't want to say luck, but I just like getting it just right at just such a small margin of error. As you can see, she gets shot and then she leaves the next one 2 yards short. Julia just, probably is just going to be trying to play through that ball. She's got a couple seconds now. She can push that ball all the way through or hit the jack. It just isn't going to turn. Just slid by. But again, she's on the tee. Now it's just setting up for a home run. I think it is just one. So Susie again is in a similar position where everything, she's got that one ball that's shot and everything else is short. Really needs to get something up to the jack or through. Looking pretty good here. Yep, found it again. Great shot there. Great shot there by Susie. Well done. And a toucher, which is very helpful. Yeah, Joni better just go up there and mark it. You're entitled to go up and mark. Even if your opponents are talking, you can still just go up there and mark it. You get the right to mark your toucher. So 2 and a close 2. And I think they got, anything that goes back, it's just whether to lose that ball. It wouldn't shock me if Julia just had to go at this and just fired at it. She has an excellent, excellent drive. Yep, there it is. See if she's on target with it. Nope, just kind of hung out a little bit. So it should be 2. I don't think it'll be more than that. 2 it is. So 2 more for Houston Robbins. They'll go up, take their first lead since they were up 6-0. And they went down 7-6, but now they've fought back and retaken the lead 10-8 after 11 ends. 7 ends to go. So in 2 days, we'll be back. I mean, the ladies have played fours and now they've played pairs, and they'll start singles tomorrow from Laguna Woods. And we'll be out there in 2 days to cover the similar to like we've done every other day, and just to give you the day 2. So you'll get the championship match, so the singles champion, as well as probably a third flight quarter and a second flight semi. Look at Steve Darmontes, just all over this camera angle. Consummate professional. Oh, I didn't hear what. Did I get a retort?
He had to open his peanuts.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
Don't touch that.
Hey, let's move on to the game. So you see Joni again, kind of playing that hand again. Let's see if Rachel's gonna stick with the ditch hand, which is what she's been playing. Yep, sticking with it here. And again, how's the weight gonna be? Is it gonna finish? Yeah, 4 feet, I think. And that put that bowl in the make it Jones rethinking, so she's going to go to the ditch hand here. Pretty good bowl there. No problems there. No issues there. Great shot. Interesting to see if Rachel tries a jacker ball shot. I think she'd be well served to add 2 yards to her last. Even keeping the same line's okay with the 2 yards, because then she'd likely get a piece of this. Not far away here. I'm liking this shot. Yeah, well done. Very nicely done, Rachel. Rachel Marcuson. Great ball there. So again, if it probably was clean, what we've been seeing is it get to that point and then hook over another foot. But she used that to her advantage, just played the same line. And just played into that bowl or the jack. Now Joan trying to try the same thing, and she's just come a little narrow. And being a little short was the main cause. Now Rachel, main thing is don't be afraid of it. Even if you play the same shot, it'll be okay. She could come into that white bowl and then redirect and get in for two. Even a little pickup on the jack's okay. I think she should just play the same thing. You really don't want to be short here. Yeah, it's close. Yeah. Yeah, not bad. I loved another yard there. Mm, 7 innings to go. It's been a heck of a game. Again, we had some of the other games going on. Got a few blowouts, and then the third place game's pretty close. Just kind of glancing over, I think McSparron and Roberts got up to a lead, and then Sylvia and Benson came roaring back, take the lead, and now I think McSparron and Roberts have come right back. And all the other games are 16 ends to this 18. There's Susie down one, really wants to be up and through the head, but she's a couple yards short, especially with the back ball. She had the back ball she can make use of and just kind of be nice and positive and play it through. Now, because she's short, she's almost kind of gotten her own way. Now, if you're Julia, the big thing is just don't give her something, don't free up that ball. That ball is really kind of right in the line to the jack here, probably on this hand, or to the bowl. So you want to kind of leave that alone and probably come all the way around if you can. Even this hand's not too bad. Putting something in here is probably be pretty good. And it's just kind of hung out on her, but it stayed up. Yep, it stayed up. So I think just being one down, I think she's, I don't know if she's thinking the draw. I don't know if it'll come back on this hand. We'll see. She's done it before. So it would be much better if she could have played with weight and just kind of come to the little pile here. Now I think she's in her own way for that. Let's see what happens. Yeah, the dangers if she hits that one square. Oh, look at that shot. What a bowl. Great shot by Susie. Beauty. Wow, just slid it underneath her own. For two. What a shot. Basically, I mean, that's kind of what Rachel had done to get shot. She just kind of played the same thing. Just the fact that she navigated her own in front was just added the extra difficulty. Let's see what Julia does now. Wonder if she's just going to have a go. She does have the best back. Right, see what happens. She's lining up on her backhand. I wonder if she's going to have a go here. She might. Yep. Trying to get a piece of this head, change things around. Being down 2 is kind of hard for it to be worse. All right, kind of knocked a couple balls out of the head. Kind of pushed that one up to make it 2. Probably a little bit better. They were 2 down already and kind of made it a little bit better for them. So not bad with there being one other. She could have deserved a little bit better result. She wasn't that far off. So they're eyeballing because you can't quite see it, but Susie's got a, or rather, Julia's got a best back ball that's basically on the plinth. There's no way we're going to get a camera angle on it based on where our camera is. So they're wondering whether they put one on the tee to protect against the kill, especially since you just saw Julia drive. Do you try and add another one? Do you put one behind? Yeah, it looks like they're going all the way to the back and just trying to protect the tee in case she kills it, they can get shot. I think Susie's probably going to do it from the backhand, just playing the ditch hand and come all the way around the head. The main thing is she wants to be outside that front bowl. Well, looks like she's under it. So I don't know what this is going to do. Hit and stick for 3? Well, I don't think she did what she wanted. I think she had the weight. She just didn't get the line that she wanted. So now it's they're looking to see who's a toucher or if there's a toucher. I think Julia's just going to try and hit this on the forehand. Now with those 2 bulls sitting there, she can really any weight she wants. She could come with a lot of weight, or she could come with a couple of yards of weight. Anything to get underneath that black bull that you see to get to the target. That's what I think her goal is. You can see her eyeballing it and lining it up with what it is she wants to try and do. So you can see that black ball on the left of Rachel's hip there. So she just needs to navigate that. Either hit, and just it's a pretty big target for Julia. That's the one thing she gotta have as opposed to 2 bulls in a line. Now she's got 2 bulls sideways. She could hit the jack and take it back, and she'll probably get 2 there. She could hit the shot bowl and come through. In least case, she cuts it to 1. She could split them, hit between the 2, and they'll both go away. She could even end up with multiple that way. The outside bowl, barely any contact and a pretty wide target for her with 2 bulls and a jack to hit. She's going to hit the front one. Just kind of drifted off on her. She didn't quite hit the target that she wanted. I think she was hoping for a little bit of a bend, but she didn't get it. So that's going to be 2 more for Susie and Joan. And they'll take a 12-8 lead, getting 2 twos in a row. With 6 ends to go, 4-point lead. So we've played 12 ends, and Julie and Rachel have only won 3 of them. They got a 5, a 2, and a 1. Between ends 6 and 9, they got all 8 of their points. And that 5 is the big thing right now that's kind of keeping them in it. Otherwise, Susie and Joan have just been a few 2s and some 1s. They're gone a little bit shorter here. I think that's kind of a mistake myself because what's been working is to go longer. See if they see what the result is of this one. Going longer has been the one thing that's been helping them tremendously because it's kind of taken Rachel a little bit off of her game from what I've seen. Here she's been pretty deadly. Pretty good opener there by Joan. Set up for a nice little jack or bull shot here. Rachel can afford to just kind of be nice and positive on the forehand for herself. And she switches. Okay. What do I know? Yeah, and then she ended up being 4 feet short. Kind of almost shutting that hand down a little bit. Not ideal there. Joan just trying again, but I think she eased up on this. And another one a yard short. Pretty good correction there by Rachel. Not bad at all. Great weight. 6 inches through at most. But Joan's still holding one. Just needs to take a little more grass here and get back to that first weight. This looks pretty good here. This looks pretty good here. Yeah, it's pretty well done there. Yeah, Rachel with a pretty nice draw here. It's going to fall in. Wait, it's funny because you look at it. If you look on the screen, you'd think, oh, that's the two white balls. You look at it for real, and it's where I'm standing. I don't or sitting. It could be the black ball might be holding. That was a really nice adjustment. Yeah, I could see Susie kind of just which hand she likes. Probably playing just to try and get inside the black on the wider hand. This bull is just behind the jack, so she could afford to play into it or under it. And even if she happens to be a little narrow and hits that bull, that's okay because it's pushing their own up. Thinking that's what she's going to do here. That is an excellent question. Got a question from the infamous Don Pixley. Wanted to know what the speed of the green is. I think this morning it started off at about 10, but it got to about 12 when we were finishing up the morning game, and I think it's probably stuck to that. And my guess is it's 12, 12 and a half. All right, here's Julie now. I think she's just trying to attack this head. Interesting that she's playing it on this hand. I wonder if she's trying to get the edge in. I wonder if she just doesn't see it going the other way or she's worried about pushing their own bull out. I think she kept it in bounds and in play. Well, Susie says it's out. Julia says it's out. I think Susie's in the same boat. I think she's just trying to play and had had a yard she needs to get to the black ball. Yeah, didn't do it here. A lot of fear in those two bowls there. If there's a block, I don't know what she's not really blocking anything. She's sure playing it like she's holding. And Julia's definitely playing it like she's down, but yeah, just kind of slid by there. Don't know if that's one of those unintentional, intentional misses. She does have the two best back now. So now Joan's saying, hey, we should draw the tee because they've down two in the back, especially with the last couple being short. Well, didn't got wrecked on that front one, so it's still yeah down just the one now. But Julia does have best back. I think she's thinking she's only down one in the head. I don't have a good look to see, but I would guess it's one. So she's had a couple tries at it. Now she's thinking coming through with weight on the forehand, but she really doesn't want to lose that back. I mean, if she's down one, she doesn't want to lose the black ball because it's two. It's going to be hard to lose it, but I think she's just going to go full force here underneath. See if she can hit that jack back. Not far away here. It's really nicely done. Oh, but rotten luck. Oh, man. Great shot. Hits the jack, but then it only moves it a couple yards because it hits the back pole. And now they're down two. Just just a rotten turn of events after hitting it right exactly the way you want to. But it's two more for Houston and Robbins. 3-2s in a row now. Their 10th and out of 13 that they've won, and they're going up 14-8. 6-point lead with 5 to go. Ooh. I was going to say, are we taking a break? Because I would love a little break. All right. Susie's coming back to the restroom. I'm going to take a little restroom break, and I'll be back.
Well, Scott's away right now. Joan's first ball was right on the money, right on the jack. A little bit behind it. Rachel's just a little short of the jack. Comes Joan's second ball. A little wide. Rachel's second ball. Oh, nice bowl. It's a measure, but at least she's moved the jack off from behind Jones' bowl. Joan bowl's her third bowl, and it's about 4 feet short. Rachel's last bowl is coming. Well, she's in a good place behind the jack, right where Julia will like it to be. A little conference in the head. And Scott's back.
All right, thanks for filling in, Gary. I feel better. Oh. All right, let's see. What do we got here? A nice bowl here by Susie. Oh, just sliding through. Close, but it looks like Susie and Joan are holding, but tough to say from here. I think we got one final. At least Hedgebeth and Thompson have finished off Billen and Minahan. I think that was the third flight final. Here's Julia. She's going backhand here, I think, trying to see if she can get around the front bowls and get to the black bowl and push it up. Needs to slip that. Didn't quite make it. I think she needed a little more pace, just a touch more pace. And Susie could try the same thing if she picks up that jack. It's 3. I don't think this is going to make it. Not even going to get in the way. Yeah, not great there. Yeah, Rachel, I think calling for the right shot there. Just wants to be nice and positive through. A lot of options. Hit either one, any of those 3 black balls. Any action on any of those 3 black balls should be good. Oof. And that came all the way across. Wow. I just don't think she had the weight. I mean, that's like the line for a pressing shot, but she ended up with this, draw weight. So I think that's a decent idea. It just needs to be through. She needs a couple of yards through at least. Get kind of a promotion. She didn't really. I mean, if you're trying to draw, I didn't look like they were looking for a draw. It looked like she was looking for a press. Because I mean, if Julia comes through and hits that black bowl, then the white bowl is probably going to go out, and then she'll sit. And then also she's got everything, all the action on the other bowls too. So, and then even if she misses everything and comes all the way around, it's not terrible because she's got this bowl to come to. Get the position. Because right now, that's what Susie's trying to do. Susie's trying to come around over here on this side and see if she could trickle that jack back into here. Kind of tuck it away. All right. Susie's is off. Let's see if she reaches the target this time. It's really need to get going. Oh, well, hits that bowl. I don't think it trickled in. Did kind of close the window a little bit. Rachel still thinks she sees it through there. Her concern is you don't want to get it over into here. So I think she's going to stick with coming in here and trying to push this bowl up and in, or coming off any of these bowls. She just needs a lot more positivity from her last one. Yeah, this is trying here. It's in the area. We'll touch on either. Oh, don't know if it moved it enough to get it out. Yep, she did. Great shot there by WG for the one, which they badly needed. So it's 14-9. A 5-point lead with 4 ins to go. Looks like the third place game is now a 1-point game. They're up and back, with McSparrow and Roberts having a 1-point lead. Well, Katya and Eva are looking to kind of finish that one off. There might be shaking hands very soon. And the other 2 games are over. All right. Rachel's moved the mat up. It looks like she's going to the tee here. Interesting. We haven't seen this yet. Steve's going to have to get some cam work going. All right, Rachel's first. No, she looks like she's committed to going on the clubhouse hand here now. Better late than never, I think. Decent opener. Gets the best back. All right, Jones first. This one's going to be short, unfortunately. Maybe about 5 feet short also. Or rather 5 feet away, I should say. So kind of equidistant here, probably a measure, but Rachel probably looking to just drop a yard. Her line's pretty good. Yeah, weight's very good there. Just kind of came across a little bit. All right, Joe needs to add probably, I think a big yard would be a good thought, or 2 yards. Yeah, something like that. Just try and add some positiveness, keep on the line. Yeah, that's very good there by Jody. Good shot there. Rachel's going to stick with it. Right in between the 2 on the weight, it'd probably be pretty good because one's jack high and one's a couple yards through. So just being about yard through and trying to get a piece of this head. Yeah, just finishing up a little short. So I think with Joan, you don't want no shorter than this. Even if you finish behind, it's okay. It's going to be really hard to give this away. You really could use another ball in the head here. Yeah, this looks really good here. Yeah, if it stays up, this is going to be nice. got best back out of it. Just cruised by. There you go. Steve showing you the whole picture here. Let's see, Julia really liked that black back bowl from Rachel's, and Joan ended up doing it. But interesting to see what Julia tries here. She really loved for that white bull to go away, and or even to come through and just a little nudge on the jack and maybe hold 3 or 4. They kind of need another big end to get back into this. It's starting to slide away. A little short by Julia. Another bull in the head. We've played 14 ends, and Julia and Rachel have only won 4 of them. But one of them was a 5. And Susie and Joan have won 10 ends, but nothing more than a 2. But when we had the 8-8 tie, and especially the run when they were down 8-7, and then they won 4 ends in a row with 3 2s to make it 14-8. And now 14-9. Susie could really use another one in the head here. I don't think she's going to get here. I think she's pretty well short. It's just another blank, really. Another opportunity for Julia, who's a couple feet short on the last. Really needs to kind of add a yard plus here, trying to get that bull out of there. Yep, seeing her nice and positive, but just didn't get anything. Good knowing what she's trying. She really needs to try and get another bull in the head here. You touch her own bull. That's not bad. Ooh, maybe too much. Wow, that really moved. I touched her bull, not clobber it. Wow. Let's see what it could be 3 now. Could have turned it all the way over. I'm having a look. Totally changes the shot though. One thing she didn't want to do was come again. She came heavy and narrow and pushed her on all the way, maybe all the way out. It could be 3. You're having a good, healthy look at it. And Julia's looking to just kind of draw around now. Wouldn't shock me. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, they've been playing this hand, this hand, this hand. It wouldn't be bad to come in here. She could come off her own bull here. She could push any of these closer or squirt right on through and get to the home base there. I mean, she's been playing this hand, but that's on. Even if you happen to be, get the weirdness of that hand. But she's going to opt for the clean draw on the wide hand here. And she has played it twice, so. Just needs to drop under that one. Yeah, just sailing a little bit. Just all the way in the ditch. Not what you wanted there. Yeah, she knows it. Now can Susie put it back?
She changed the score. She didn't change the pants.
All right. I think Susie looking for a draw here. Can't tell who's holding or how many. Could be anything. Might want to guess that it's 2 for Julie and Rachel. which would say that Susie needs to really get one in here. Be a big shot. She could do it. And she's cruising too. Very heavy and all the way in. All right, now we'll see what's up. It's been a mystery to this point, but nothing's changed. Wait for any kind of signal here. I'm going to find out which one of the whites is closer. Or she already knows the polka dot one, is it? Now we'll see. Yeah, that looked like 2. Trying to take the 1 out without, and now get a better look at the black one with that bull out of the way to make sure it's 2. I mean, very least it's got an umpire right behind. Yeah, Melanie and Jack here right there. So they got 1 out. They're going to measure the second one. Getting a little bit of a costly mistake by Susie since they were holding 1, and that would have been huge to be up 15-9, up 6 with 3 to go. It's pretty good. But this measure is brought to you by Arrow Bowls USA. Thank you for your sponsorship, Arrow Bowls, and the use of your tent, which is keeping the sun off our equipment and off of my bald head. Thank you very much, Arrow Bowls USA. Arrow Bowls, the same line every time. Looking at the third place game. Oh, we got the measure going on. It looks like McSparren and Roberts are up 1. But now Selby and Benson have scored. So they've got the mat. I'm guessing they're shaking hands because it's tied. And we're saying, well, may the best team win. I'll speculate. We'll get an update from Kelly. And the other 3 games are all finals, and we're not very close. So they're measuring there's 1 out here. That Julie and Rachel got, and they're measuring the second one. So will it be a 4-point lead with 3 to go or a 3-point lead with 3 to go? It's in the hands of our umpire. Yep, and that game is in fact all tied, as you can see the update, 15-15 after 15. Looks like the black one was in, so that should be 2. Yep, it is 2 there. So again, a little bit of a mistake by Susie, holding 1 and pretty close, and then trying to get in her back bowl, and she came heavy and narrow, which moved both of her bowls away and put in 2 for Julie and Rachel. So now it's kind of opened the door. So now that's a 3-point deficit with 3 to go for them. They're debating what to do next. I'm trying to keep an eye on the third place game, which is the last one going on right now, which is all tied up on the last end. Well, Rachel and Julie are having a little discussion about what they're going to do with mat length and jack length. Well, So it looks like in that game, it looks like it's a measure, but I mean, nobody's within 7 feet. So, and Linda's going second and rolling her second bowl. Now, unless there's a zero in, this will be their last end of that game. Linda's drawn one in for shot. And here we have Rachel with a very nice bowl. Looks like they decided to pull the mat up a little bit and have the jack a few yards short, so kind of like a mid-range jack here, which I think gets in more into a little bit better draw for the grass. Joan with a pretty good draw herself. Both ladies a little short. I think Rachel would love to just like add a yard, I think is a good thought here, and should put it just behind. Yep, looks like that's what she's done. Julia likes it. Meanwhile, in the third place game, looks like Linda's drawn 2 bulls in for shot, while Inger's got the 2 best back. And both ladies have 2 pretty short bulls, about 7 feet short. And for my wife, it is wine o'clock. All right, here's Joan trying to slip underneath this bowl here. We'll get a good shot of Susie instead. Yeah, pretty close. I think Rachel's just going to try again here. And Julie and Rachel are defending champions in pairs here. This looks really good if it's got the weight. Really good if it's got the weight. Oh, just kind of wiggled out. Still might be in for 2. Again, we kind of got this 3-way measure. Yeah, looking like it's 2 here. I'll go on the limb. All right, Joan trying to slide by or get a piece. Yeah, she's going to slide by. I think she was trying to just kind of do a chop lie there, but looks like it's, I'll say it's probably 2 for Julie and Rachel. As we're crossing over, looking at the other game here, Rose had her first bull, down 2 in the head. Rose had her first bull and drew it all the way through. Dee with her first. And Skip looks like she's drawn a third. Again, whoever wins this end wins that match, as they're all tied. 15-15 after 15. So it'll be Rose second. Try and do just nothing but radio call on that one. I think she's got to draw within, looks like 2 feet to get shot. She's heavy, so McSparren and Roberts are still holding. All right, here you got Julia's first. She's looking to just kind of come to the back, get to that back bowl. Yep, I think she's done what she wanted. Put a good position there. Meanwhile, Dee's rolling her second, just trying to put another one in the head, get one close if she can. Pretty good bowl there by Dee. Yeah, it looks like it's jack high within a foot. So Rose will have her last bowl, and she needs to get within a foot or push Dee's all the way through to win that match, or at least take the lead in the head, or else that one's over. And here Susie's got her first, down 2. Probably looking for a chop lie. I don't know if she can draw it and get it clean around, so probably looking to push that one out. Yep, just kind of sliding by. All right, Rose has rolled her bowl. Let's see what happens here. She's been heavy with her first 2. She's got something to stop on here, but she needs to get it all the way through. Nope. things over, I think. They're shaking hands already. So it'll be McSparren and Roberts getting the third place game. So they'll get the bronze. Their only loss coming to Susie and Joan. All right, this is the last game going now. Julia looked like she just kind of put a position bull just on the front, the left of your screen. Susie's second, looking to try and do kind of a, again, either draw around or kind of push through those bowls. She was just a little heavy on her last, or a little high. Even the inside of the front bowl would be good, or hitting the jack is real good. A little unlucky there. I think puts it back to Rachel's and Julia's right in that position there. So Rachel said it's 1, which should be Julia's bowl that's on the left. Gives Julia a chance to just kind of do that free draw again just to get to the shot, even if she hits the black bowl of her own there in front. And just a tap on it's good. Oh, it just slid by. Hoping for a 2-for-1 shot, I think, just either to maybe push that one in and just nudge it in and then slide behind and get the back bowl. But she just missed that bowl, so she gets the back bowl. But they're holding 1 right now. I mean, they didn't act like it was a measure. They looked like it was pretty obviously 1 from the way they were acting. So all the other games are final. And I give big thank you to Kelly Warren, who's walking around and updating the scores in our little ticker that we have in the upper left-hand corner. All right. So it's like 1. I think the main thing Susie doesn't want to do is try and make this 2. She doesn't want to push another one in. Love to get shot if she can, of course. But really, it's got to be careful not to push that black one in and make it 2. Don't want to give another one for him. All right, here we go. She's trying to slide it underneath and see if she can. Oh, she's gonna kind of get wrecked in the front. So Julia and Rachel are going to score here. Probably just 1. They're going to look at the second and give it a measure. It is just 1. All right. So 2-point lead in the two end game. 14-12 now. 2 ends to go. This is an 18 end game, and we finished 16. So an 18 end final here. Looks like all the other games were 16, but the championship they made an 18 end final. So now it's 14-12 with Susie and Joan leading. Looks like they've done the same thing where they've been consistent winning these 3 ends in a row. So they definitely have Mo on their side. They've kept it a little short of a couple yards short of the tee here. And they pulled that mat up. So you can get there first. Rachel with a pretty good effort here. Yeah, good opener. Couple feet behind, just a little narrow. Again, because there must be a winner. So if this does finish in a tie after 18 ends, they will play a full 19th end. Essentially a 1-end game where they toss the coin, decide who goes first, the whole thing. Joan with a pretty good opener here, really good. Just at most a foot short, which it doesn't need to do much different here. Pretty good here. Looks like a great adjustment. Is she going to make it all the way in? Oh, just a little short. That's still one for Susie and Joan. I might be forcing Joan to go the other way, though, given that it's late game. You really don't want to give them any help of pushing their bowls in. So Joni is switching over to what is her forehand here. Trying to hang out and see if she can touch on her own bowl or hit the jack absolutely clean. I don't know if that's necessarily what you want her to do, but she'll take it. I mean, nothing wrong with being behind, but she was heavy and narrow when she was holding it. Just happened to work out perfect for her. But I mean, man, if it squirts, she gets half of it. That's no bueno. But now she really put it to them. Rachel trying pretty hard here. Yeah, good position just behind. Well, Susie's got the right idea. Wants to have Joan. No, she's kind of wants to just kind of get to that black bull, especially something in the quadrant, because with the bull and a jack here, I mean, there's a chance you could turn the corner and put it over here, but more likely it's going to go in this corner. So you really want something over here. Yeah, and that's what Joan's done. Two beauties to finish that end. That's really well done to hold two. And Joan with the when she drug it, she was really, I think, just trying to get back into kind of here and trying to skirt this black bull. But you know, she had been playing this hand all day, the whole day, and it's like one of her first ones here, so she came a little narrow. And it could have been deadly. It could have squirted the jack over here, but instead she picked it up absolutely clean and is just hugging it. And now really putting a lot of pressure on Julia given the circumstance of the game. She needs to dislodge this, and she's not far away here. Look at this shot. She loves it, as she should. Didn't waste any time at all. Just her first ball. Just push that ball right out to take shot, no less. Great control. That'll be Susie put to the test. She's got a couple options. I mean, obviously, it'd be ideal if she could come on this hand and get to the bull or the jack. That would be great. But I don't know if she can, you know, she's got these, she's got to navigate. She could try the same kind of thing and play onto here and maybe either just play the same shot and hit the bull and have it go out, or hit bull into jack and have it trickle down in. That'd be good too. And I think that's what she's trying. But she's just very short, narrow here, I think. That's not going to do anything. Now what's Julia going to do for an encore here? The main thing is you don't want to give it away. Really want to come to that bowl. I think Rachel's got the right idea. Ideally, you want to just, even if you get wrecked, you get wrecked. But I mean, she'd really like to find this bowl. Think like something in here, target-wise. Just find your gap in between here, and don't want to get anywhere close to this, to the bull or the jack. You're really trying to get to this white bull or into this area back in here. Find your gap, play it all the way through. And I think she's going to be short here. Yep, definitely short. Not what you wanted. She needed a few yards. But holding, I mean, you can afford to be a little short. You know, you'd rather do that than be heavy and narrow. But Susie's just really got to come on to. She was very short of the last one. Needs to be a little more aggressive here. I mean, she's got 2 seconds. And this looks like a better effort. Just cutting away. Don't know if she's going to make this corner. Just turning away. Oh, they've got three seconds, I think. Julia really wants to, I think she could try this and come to here. That wouldn't be bad. Or come through and shoot this gap and to come back in here this way. I think she's going the forehand route. Just needs a little more positivity between the white and the blue, I think, on the left. That looks like what she's trying. Gonna be hard to give. You can't really give it away from this hand if she. A little bonus if she could make it all the way and in. Oh, she might do it. That's gonna be close. So I don't think she was even trying for a second, and she might have squirted in there for two. And it really doesn't change Susie's shot. She's really still trying to do what Julia did with her first, of just trying to hit that bowl. And I mean, just hitting that bowl. I mean, you can't get any worse than one. And she's been short, and she's been narrow. Needs to get a little help. Nope. Didn't quite do it. So they're looking to see if it's one or two. Waiting for the board here. Yep, it's just one. So another one. Jeez. They'd only won out of the first 13 ends, they've won 3. And now they've won 4 ends in a row. And now are 1 point behind going to the last. Heck of a game. Can they get a 5th one? Again, if it ends up with a tie, they play an extra end. So Rachel's moved the mat up again just a little bit, not as much as before. And then they're playing it. So they're just kind of keeping the same stretch of grass is what they've been doing. So that's about where the, kind of roughly where the mat was before. So. All right, well, here we go. They're checking to see if it's long enough, and it looks like it's very long.
Yeah.
Checking to see, but it's worth looking at, but I just don't know. I mean, it's just got to be past the. They're gonna measure it anyways. Yeah, looks like they're gonna measure it to see if just to make sure that it's long enough. Trying to even find the mark. Yeah, it looks like it's good by 2 yards. Yeah. Not gonna lie and say that it looked like it was definitely good, but yeah, I guess you're entitled for the ask. All right. Rachel's back to the playing this hand, which he's played pretty well in this stretch of grass. So this is a little heavy here, but Julia likes it. Good to have balls in position. So it's probably maybe 5 feet behind. Kind of feel good right now if you're Julia and Rachel. I mean, they were down 6-0 at one point, came back, and then they were down 14-8. So 2 6-point leads or deficits that they've erased. Now they're just down 1 here. Both ladies, again, about 4 to 5 feet behind, looking to make an adjustment. So pretty good position. Now they're looking to get one in. It's like Rachel's has dropped just a foot, but holding. See if Joan can drop the yard here. It's not far away. And just dropped a little too much. It's probably about a yard short. Again, you really like Rachel's position. It's going to probably make Rachel, I wonder if she's, yeah, I think she's switching over here. I think is trying to have a good weight here. Julia really likes it. Is the weight going to be enough to get past that front bull? Yep, she's done it. So that should be at least one, if not two here. But still room to draw. See if Jones going to stick with his hand. Just try and float it around the black here. Needs to add that yard. Didn't do it. Oh, might have slid in for a shot. I don't know. Might have just made it through the hole. I thought she was going to push on ratios and push right up. Like, really can't tell who's holding. Sure looks like it's one for Houston and Robbins with that last one just kind of squeaking through. But there's got to be a good yard here to draw in. So last in. Julia down one on the match. Looking for a nice draw here. Even a little press on her own. Yep, that'll do it. Great shot there for two. The first bowl was clutch in the last end, clutch again here. And Susie just has not been able to match her. Down the stretch here. Julia and Rachel looking to repeat as pairs champions in the Southwest Open. Yeah. So Susie's got a lot to work with on the forehand here if she wants. I mean, if she comes to the forehand, she could come off those bowls and in. She could come to this bowl here, pick up the jack, or hit the inside of this bowl. All those are good for her. But her weight has been a little spotty, like the nerves are getting to her a little bit. She's just been kind of overcooking everything. I mean, that's a healthy 3 yards through. And the main thing for Julia is just not to help her. She's kind of got the same shot on the forehand here, just trying to get a third. I think the thought might be get a third, get one in there, and then maybe cover the back, depending on how it sets up. Julia's second. It's just going to the back here anyways. Well, that's what she was trying to do, but that's what she's gotten. Trying not to make it any easier for Susie, who's had a couple of great chop lie shots in this match. Needs one here. Giving up one, at least you play an extra end. Right now you're down two. You're down the match. She's definitely positive. Let's see if she can get this little rub off the wall or get the shot bowl. Oh, good shot there. Got a piece of it. I think she cut it to one. I think Julia's looking the other way. She's got to be careful though. She played this hand twice. She played this hand twice. Now she's looking to shoot this gap here between this bowl and these bowls, but she really doesn't want to touch these bowls here. That would be not good. I think she's just trying to get to this bowl or the jack here for a second and to hold the match. Pretty sure they're holding one now. Big bowl. Oh, it looks a little tight. Looks a little tight. It's got to slip that. If she slips it, it's okay. Oh, ooh, don't think that was enough. Don't think that's enough. Susie seems to think it's one down, or that she's got one down. Boy, Susie's Now, Susie's at it, so assuming, which I think is right, is that it's 1 for Julia and Rachel. So you don't want to give it 2. So I think Susie's gonna. I mean, nothing really to gain from coming this way, so that's not on. So I think what she's gonna do is try and play this hand again. Now, if she can hit the jack and push it back, they win. She can hit these bowls to get one of them in, they win. Or she can hit the pile and have it go, they win. The main thing she doesn't want to do, which could be disastrous, is to hit the right side of this jack. If she hits the right side of the jack and have it flick left, then she'd probably be 2 down. That's the one danger she's got right now. Just there are those 2 bulls in front kind of protecting against that shot. It looks pretty high for the weight. I don't think that's coming back. Yep. So pretty high from there. So I'll double check and see if it's just the one. If so, they're flipping and we're playing an extra end. So down 14-9, or rather 14-8 after 13 ends. Julia and Rachel go 1-2, 1-1-1, and tied at 14. And we're going to play an extra end here. So to get the coin out and flip and the whole shebang. See, the thing is, what do you do? I mean, this is tempting to. Do you want the last shot, or do you want to play your length? Because the length has very much been a deciding factor of it.
You change it to N19 on the scoreboard. Yeah. You changed.
So I don't know who won the toss or what's happening as far as that goes, but they'll. Let's see. So after the 18 ends, so Susie and Joan won 10 of them. Julie and Rachel 8 of them. The big one was that 6th end when they got the 5. Otherwise, this match has been all 2s and 1s. All right. Well, whatever, who decided, who won what, but they're definitely pulling the mat up. So a big jack here for Rachel to play in this good grass. I mean, as soon as they scored and they went to this distance, they've started this run of 1s and 2s. So bonus coverage here, bonus end. We're going to go with back to this kind of mid-length. All right, here's Rachel's first. Again, really like to get there first. Put the pressure on your opponent. Have good position. Nothing short. Not a bad opener there. Jack high. Would prefer to be behind again by a couple feet. See. And Susie will have the all-important last bowl. Well, I don't know if Joan's going to get here. This looks very short. Yeah, and that's well short there. Not what you're looking for. You're better off being 3 yards behind. At least that has some value. Being 2.5 yards short is no good. There's Rachel trying to make the adjustment here. It's come a little narrow. Slipped that bowl, but definitely in for shot. Just a bowl short. I see Joan be nice and positive here. She's been pretty good with the line. She's been playing this hand the whole time and has not missed the line very much. Her weight's been a little short and long and short and long, but as you see here, but her line's been pretty solid. Just an overcorrection there. Now Rachel looking to get another one. Her last bowl of the match. A little touch on her own. Nope, just getting it behind. So holding 3 with the shot bowl maybe at most 2 feet away. Probably a foot and a half. Joan does have the best back. Is looking to split the difference between her two bowls with her last. See if she can get shot. She is not far away with this one, though. Not far away with this one. Yeah, she's done it. Wow, what? That's crazy. One well short, one well long, and the third one right on it. A Goldilocks bowl, to say the least. Very much too cold, too hot, and just right. Very much so. All right, now it'll be up to the skips. Well, Julia's been just nails with her first bowl these last few ends. She hasn't waited with her second or third to make the conversion. She's done it right with her first, about 3 ends in a row now. She's looking to do it again, and she's done it. Hit the bowl and a little touch on the jack. Another great clutch shot by Julia. Take it right away and to hold a couple, but definitely room to draw. So now a good chance for people to practice their off-center jack here. And the drills I have my students do, and pretty difficult to try and do it on the doing up the middle. I mean, this is wide open here. Don't know if you want to skirt these here. Just trying to keep it in balance. I don't even know how close to the line it is. I think Jones got the right idea. You just want to beat that bull. That's the trick. It's just make sure it's in. Try and get shot. That's your target. Even if you miss it a little wide, at least you stay in. But the main goal is to have good weight and get the shot. Oh, she's very heavy here, all the way through. Several yards through there, 3 yards through. Well, Julia wants to get one close. She's got a couple, but she wants to get one close here. Try and put this thing away. Again, Julia and Rachel looking to repeat as pairs champions. They've clawed back from 2 6-point deficits here. Well, it's in, but not particularly close. And Susie needs I think her line was not bad. She's 3 yards through is the main thing. Nothing really in her way. She can get all the way around it. Good chance, good time to put one in here for shot. Put a lot of pressure on Julia here. Is it going to stop? Ooh, I think it just slid by. I think the black bull of Rachel's is still holding. Julia's going to come for a look. Don't really blame her. So you'd like to get one close, but the main thing is you don't want to, Susie with her last bull, you don't want to try and deter her if you can. That might be what they're talking about, whether there's something they could do to try and keep her from making the shot. But I mean, the problem is you can't, if you were thinking a block, she's just going to go around and she's playing outside anyways with the jack being off center. So for some people would say, oh, just put in a block. Where are you going to block? Because I mean, if you put in like a shorter block, you're skirting the out of bounds line, which is right here. Where you're going to be blocking that's effective. Really, it's just you're just maybe drawing another one. So I think the danger is if you draw a close one, then you're giving her something to run into. But I still think you just play it straight and just try and see if you can draw one and get one close. So she's just looking to add the 4 feet, stick on the same line. See if you can just put one really close here. Pretty close here. Good shot. Just don't want to push it to the white. Oh, what a shot. Great bull. Great bull there. a little dicey. I mean, if she moves it another foot, it's over. But now she just absolutely puts her in jail. I think they want to mark that toucher. They really want to mark their toucher. Yeah, there Rachel goes, okay, good. Just want to make sure they mark the toucher. You'd hate her to plow into it and forget it's a toucher. All right, here we go. This is all going to be the whole match. The whole championship's going to be decided by this last shot. Julia putting it less than 6 inches away. I think it's going to have to be like a chop lie shot. Even if she hits that bull and pushes the jack, anything that pushes it behind will be good enough for them. So she really needs to hit that bull. For the title.
Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on.
It's not far away. Oh, she just turned it over. She just hit that bull and turned it over sideways. And we didn't get a good look because Joni kind of jumped in there. But all she did was hit that bull. And you could see it went from red to purple and she's flipped it over. So she hit the outside half of it. But boy, with 5 ends in a row to finish and then winning the extra end, the title will go to Julia Gallo and Rachel Marcuson. They're 2026 Southwest Open Women's Pairs Champions. But a great match by Susie Houston and Joan Robbins. Great tournament. So that'll do it. So we'll be done for the day here. We'll be back in 2 days for the second day of the 2026 Southwest Open women's singles matches. But for Gary Barnes, Steve Narmontes, Kelly Warren, I've been Scott Roberts. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you in a couple days. So long.